Hey everybody, welcome to another video on Keebs. Today we have the KBD67 Lite R2 review. So we're going to discuss about the Bluetooth edition here, not the normal one because the normal one is essentially the same as the R1. But we're going to talk about this one, the Bluetooth edition, give my in-depth thoughts about this keyboard, and let's see what the differences are with the R1. Alright, so before we start, hopefully you guys subscribe to the channel. You can also follow Keebs on twitch.tv. I stream there every Monday and Thursday. Subathon soon, by the way. Alright, let's get into the board. This keyboard is the KBD67 Lite R2. It is created by KBD fans after the huge success of the R1 of the KBD fans. This is the Bluetooth edition. In here, I have Drop Palms, we have the Drop Me To Pegaso, and yeah. So this keyboard kit is around $120. The R1, I believe, was $109. So there's a slight bump up, not too much, but... So this is the Bluetooth edition. Now, the differences between the Bluetooth edition and the normal version of the KBD fans is that this supports wireless. So this is now a wireless keyboard. It supports Bluetooth 4.0. The normal KBD fans has a different PCB, so it is not compatible with the Bluetooth on that PCB, but you need to buy the special YD67BLE Bluetooth PCB. So that's the difference. Another difference between this and the R1 is that this on the plate has standoffs that are fixed into the plate, which is really unfortunate in my opinion. I feel like this board, it doesn't suffer a lot of stiffness on the R1, but they had to add stiffness in here. I don't know why. That is included on the polycarbonate plate, especially in the poly plate. I think what they're going for is making this keyboard better without the silicone gasket and allowing you to not build it with the silicone gasket, but it's kind of conflicted from KBD fans itself. So if we see here, we have a 65% keyboard layout, the usual 67. We've got a small blocker in here. The usual layout, nothing special. In the back, we have the KBD fans logo in their weird Comic Sans like logo. Side profile is pretty nice. Same with the R1, same with the KBD67 Mark II. Very nice. And we have a USB-C. Now, you might be wondering, this is a Bluetooth keyboard. Where is the on and off button? Well, there's not, but I'll get to that in a second. So, how do we build this keyboard? So, the KBD fans kit allows, it has the screws here. It gives you a screw, so that's pretty nice. You have the 8 screws here. You put on the plate, PCB, silicone foam, and also the EVA foam. Pretty simple. But on the Bluetooth edition, there is a battery inside, which is around in here. You need to place a battery there. And there's a JST connector, which you need to connect. And it should work wirelessly now. So it's pretty simple. You just put your keycaps on. Nothing really fancy. There's a lot of videos covering that. So I have a little bit of a gripe with this. Okay, so this keyboard here, it does not, it's a Bluetooth keyboard. It's meant to be a Bluetooth keyboard, this one, but it does not have an on and off button. So how do you turn the Bluetooth off? You plug it. That's simple as that. You just take a USB-C cable, plug it in, Bluetooth turns off, and immediately goes into wired mode. And it also charges the battery. You can see there's a little bit of a yellow light there indicating that it is I believe it's on. There's not really much explanation about this keyboard. All right. Next up is this is quite weird for me. So I say this is a really good budget mechanical keyboard kit. I think this is still the best budget mechanical keyboard kit you can buy out there in the world. I made a video comparison. If you want to check it out, it should be up here, the link. And yeah, it's the best out of all the competitors, and for the price it's excellent. Mind you that the Bluetooth edition does not come with a battery included, so you must need to buy your own battery, and you need to connect it by yourself because they don't allow the battery to be shipped through plane. All right, another gripe I have with this is, so this keyboard is a beginner-friendly keyboard, right? It is marketed to be a beginner-friendly keyboard, but what it does with the Bluetooth edition is make it not friendly for beginners at all. It makes it very difficult because why? You get the battery here. You get the battery, you get the JST connector. The JST connectors come from KBD fans itself. The battery is separate by yourself. You need to solder. You need to solder the battery to the JST connector. And for a lot of people, including me, this was my first time soldering a cable, soldering a battery, which can explode as well. So it's pretty scary. And then you have to solder it. You buy a hot swap keyboard for one reason, and that reason is to make it easier for a lot of beginners. And you also make it because you don't need to solder anything. And yet this requires you to solder it and use electrical tape and stuff, which is more complicated for beginners. So I think KBD fans with this keyboard missed the mark in making this a entry level and easy to build for beginner keyboard. It is what it actually does best in the R1. That is why the R1 stands out so well out of everything else on the easiness to build it. But now they just ruined it with the Bluetooth, making it really hard for beginners to try out this keyboard. So it's a shame. It's an absolute shame. Another thing, no on and off button. For me, at least for Bluetooth, I would like to have a on and off button. So basically when you just leave it like that, it's still on. It's still Bluetooth going on. But the way to turn it off is you plug a USB-C cable onto it. So imagine you carrying this keyboard. You plug it into a USB-C that's supercharging, or it's more rapid than it's supposed to take. And then the battery explodes because it takes too much power, because you want the Bluetooth to be off and you don't want the battery to be, dead in the next day. So that is another risk that this keyboard provides, which is kind of a shame, honestly. Kind of a shame. Yeah, it's really it. So, and another thing here I want to discuss is that this keyboard is supposed to be travel friendly. So this keyboard here is 630 grams. The R1 without the battery is 571. So it's still easy to carry around. It's not heavy in any sense. It's pretty good. But you get the carrying case as well, which is really nice. You can take it around, when you're traveling, maybe on a plane and stuff. You travel. You need to carry a mechanical keyboard you want that's light and easy. You can carry this. But there's a but here. There's a but. The KBD67 Lite, which has the battery now, does not allow you to take it on a plane unless you carry it. And, you ain't carrying this on your backpack, really, right? You want it in a case, in the carrying case. Now, you can't put that carrying case in the baggage or into your luggage, because it has a battery inside. So you need to take out the JST connector and the battery. So a Bluetooth keyboard that's travel friendly becomes not travel friendly for you unless you're like in your room. The Bluetooth is excellent. I think Bluetooth is fine. There's no latency that I've tested. But yeah, that's just a real shame that this keyboard is not as portable as the R1 is. So yeah. All right, going into the typing feel, I think the typing feel is excellent. It provides a lot of stability, has quite a little bit of bounce, but the included standoffs make it so stiff, especially on the spacebar. So I don't recommend you screwing in the standoffs on this, or maybe get a different plate if possible, which does not have the standoffs on it. Like maybe make an FR4 plate. Sound wise, it's still excellent. This is with the Duroc Palms. This loud, clacky, deeper thocky, sound, which is really nice. Really enjoy the sound. So overall, this is an excellent keyboard. But what I think this keyboard lacks is a clear idea of what this keyboard wants to be. Is it supposed to be a beginner entry keyboard that's easy to build? No, it's not. Not anymore with the Bluetooth edition. The R2, the normal one, is still an amazing beginner friendly keyboard. This, however, is not beginner friendly anymore. So I think KBD fans has a conflicted ideals with the Bluetooth edition here. It also does not support QMK or VIA, but I made a separate video before this video on how to key map it without VIA and QMK. It's pretty easy, but you know, some beginners might prefer VIA or QMK, which is much easier and more well known. And KBD fans hasn't released a proper guide on how to actually build the keyboard, which is really interesting since this requires soldering a battery, or they didn't have a guide for it. That's a real shame. But you can see a guide at least. Go to my twitch.tv/YoKeebs. You can check the KBD67 Lite R2 Bluetooth VOD, and you can probably just take into account that one as a build guide. So yeah, that's basically it. That is my review. Sorry if I'm just rambling around and not really showing enough insides of the keyboard. But this is Keebs In Focus episode 3. This is what we do. So no script and all. But hopefully you guys enjoy the review. These are my thoughts. This is my opinion. So please, this is not 100% accurate thing. But this is just my feelings as a keyboard enthusiast in building this keyboard. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, follow me on Twitch. I will have a subathon soon. I stream every Mondays and Thursdays, 9:30 p.m. GMT +7. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Peace out.